Good evening, everybody. There we go. Good evening, everybody. How are we? Welcome, one and all, back to the Steelchair. How is everybody doing? Oh, it's certainly an eventful evening, isn't it? Who's going to be at the first comment tonight? Who's going to be the first to appear? Who's going to be the first to say hello? The minute my name gets said, we've got a fun one. But again, if you are new to this channel, please do like, share, and subscribe. Welcome, of course, to the weekly Steelchair, where it's not really weekly anymore, it's pretty much daily now. But hope everyone is doing well. We certainly have a lot to get through, and that is most important. And of course, I'm missing our daily dose of music. One moment. There we go. And whilst I'm waiting for, whilst we're waiting to see who shows up, I'll just bring this little masterpiece up. Artistry. Fyter Fest. Appropriately named show. If you didn't watch last night, there's 4 hours of wrestling just to get through. Got my Pepsi Max. Cherry. Got the energy. Too hot actually, so I'm going to quickly take this off. There we go. But yes, Fyter Fest, Fyter Fest, Fyter Fest. Before we even get into that, let's see if we can find some news, because well, we love news on this channel, don't we? Definitely got that one as well. That's major news. Okay, what have we got? Let's see if we've got anything. Again, why does that Okay, maybe there is some major news then. If anyone is tuning in, we do have some major ones. Hmm. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we've got some really shitty news, but let's get through most of it. Okay, so the first bit of news comes from WrestleVotes. Uh, Most of the news here is WWE, but I'll try and find some AEW news as best as I can. But there is actually something here which is quite telling. So the first bit of news is on screen. So WWE did not want any R-Truth shirts being worn by talent during Raw this week. I think they're afraid of unity amongst the roster because considering what it could raise. But there's a lot. Hello, Maria. How are you? So that's significant news right there from R-Truth. Second of all, this from an interview perspective, this is for Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens says he doesn't know if he will return to the ring after fully recovering from neck surgery. It would be not arrogant, but wrong to be able to tell you that right now I will absolutely return to the ring. I don't know if it's true. Why is WWE acting like a dictator country? Because you know full well that they cannot take anything less than the inmates running the asylum. They know what will happen if certain talent gets a little bit of control, especially with talent of influence. It'll force their hand, which is what they don't want. Another big set of news, by the way, this has been coming along a lot. I think we might see some change with this talent, but we'll see. This sadly does come from Fightful, so don't be frightened. But Karrion Kross has a few months left on his contract with WWE, and the company has not yet approached Kross about a renewal. I think the writing, truthfully, is on the wall for Karrion Kross. I think Karrion Kross is an excellent performer, but I think he's going to be released. I don't think he's sticking around. I think he's going to be let go. I think that's quite sad, really, because he's worked hard to reinvent himself. But yeah, Karrion Kross, add him to the list because I think we're going to see the goodbye of Miz soon. Speaking of things that should go bye-bye, but they won't, Logan Paul has pitched two tag team names to John Cena ahead of Money in the Bank on Saturday. So he's proposed the Heel Team 6 and the other team name, which I find embarrassing, the WWE. Cena loves Heel Team 6, but doesn't hate the WWE. I hate these. These are shit. This stuff you can't take seriously. Like, this is just load of bollocks. Directly from CNBC, the mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, who doesn't even focus on the increasing knife crime in his city, or the fact that the city needs major renovations and government care. He's once again calling on Triple H to bring WrestleMania to London. I'd love for WrestleMania to come to London. Triple H, if you're watching, we want WrestleMania to come to London, is the quote. Yeah, surely he would think, we need better. Catherine, I know you're trolling. See, for that alone, you're not getting a Kenny Omega post on screen. This comes from CarCast. Next set of news. I've got no idea who this is. But it says Goldberg says he injured himself a couple of times, is extremely limited due to his left knee, and as a result can't run without feeling pain whilst training for his retirement match. He says he's blown his shoulder out, blown his bicep out, and pulled a hamstring from throwing high kicks. So in other words, he's kicking for Bret Hart again. So whoever his final opponent's going to be, he's going to aim. He's looking to injure someone. Goldberg, forever dangerous, cometh the man. Yes, I agree. WWE should not bring WrestleMania to London until they fix their crown. What's up, Fernando? More news for everybody before we begin. So this is a big reaction, ladies and gentlemen. So I want your opinions on this. WWE is aware of the backlash surrounding the relocation of WrestleMania 42 from New Orleans to Las Vegas. Again, WrestleMania 42, the Sunday is currently advertised the Sunday is my birthday, so that's a good reason to skip my birthday. As soon as they are taking, as such, they are taking that into account when they make the official announcement soon. So there's potential. I could realistically see them doing what they did in let's see, WrestleMania was 2. Let me just check. Well, actually, I'm not going to check. I'm going to use my memory. WrestleMania 2 and WrestleMania 29 were held in separate. WrestleMania 2 and WrestleMania 9 were held in separate cities, separate states. It wouldn't surprise me, because of the backlash to New Orleans, one of these nights might end up keeping New Orleans. The other one goes to a different location, Las Vegas. You have to call it WrestleMania next year. I mean, it'll actually be a lot better if it was under my name. At least I would save the damn thing. Goldberg's last match was with Roman. That's a good way to end a career. What more can he ask for? That he didn't want his last match to be against Roman, and I don't blame him. I would hate for my last match to be against Roman. Being aware of the backlash and addressing it is two different things. They don't care about the backlash, they care about the money. Exactly. Yo, Fletch, what's cooking? So far we've got the R-Truth, the R-Truth unit, the anti-R-Truth shirts, Mayor of London, Logan Paul thinking he's entertaining. What's up, James? Karrion Kross's contract expires in a few months. Kevin Owens doesn't think he's going to return to the ring. Lillian Garcia will be the announcer for Worlds Collide. Jariah June. That wouldn't be a bad idea. There's stuff here about Jey Uso, but they're not really important. Stussy, that wouldn't surprise me. This came out less than an hour ago, but you pretty much know this is a work. It's from the Up and Adams show. Seth Rollins says he wants CM Punk gone, and the quote is, "Punk is not good for what we do. Look, he's a bad dude. I beat him in the main event of WrestleMania. I don't want him anywhere near this contract. I've dealt with CM Punk for far too long. This guy shouldn't even be in my win space. I want him gone. I want him out of here." I mean, I'd play that. Lillian Garcia again, Worlds Collide just seems like just do this once and then shut your mouth. Thekla with a better spear than the world champion. Yes, she does a much better spear than Jey, so that's for sure. Let's see if there's any more news. Don't think so. I'll keep looking. What else we got? Oh. This is interesting. I have not seen this before, but I don't know if you guys have. This is from 2 days ago. Tony Khan about gatekeepers. Have you guys seen this? The doxing of Roxanne Perez. Ooh. Have you guys seen this? Tony Khan speaking about gatekeeping fans? Yeah. I actually respect this. People say he doesn't have any respect, but look at this. I respect this. Like, this is the shit that matters. See if I can fucking zoom in, you little shit. Ugh, this thing's crap. Hold on. There we go. Let me just remove these. So he says, lately Fed fans are asking questions about AEW and wanting to watch it. Should we gatekeep this promotion or letting them in? And he simply responds, don't gatekeep. Welcome them to the promotion. Why the fuck would you gatekeep? The only promotion I've ever thought gatekeep them was TNA because of what WWE fans did to TNA in 2010. But frankly, I can't be bothered anymore. I give up on that shit. I still get my enjoyment, but those fans are still, most of them are still Muppets. But yeah, good for Tony Khan. Now here's something really funny. This is from 2 days ago as well. John Cena says he wants to star in a horror movie. John Cena, you're a professional wrestler. You're already a horror. Don't worry. That won't make them title winners. It's not enough. Just to level set, not for me, for a friend. What is gatekeeping? Gatekeeping is basically so. Say, for example, you own say for example you own a video game, and basically everybody wants a shot, but it's not came out digitally yet. So you go out and buy every single copy of the game, and nobody can get their hands on it. It basically stops people from getting in, being accepted, getting an opportunity to enjoy something new. That's gatekeeping. Same way about this tweet when basically the guy says, should we let them in and accept them and let them watch, or don't let them? It's basically gatekeeping is refusing to let people enjoy something new. There isn't much else, I don't think, about news. Let me see, is there anything else? Oh, that shirt of Michael Cole just makes me sick. I've got no idea what that is. I know it was a couple of days ago, and I know I did post it, but I'm glad that even though I thought her wrestling gimmick and the way she behaved at times in WWE was absolutely pathetic, I am glad that Cora Jade is still with us. I don't think I've addressed it on previous shows, but I'm saying it now. I am glad that she is still with us. I was going to say he's already in one as champion. Exactly. A full-on horror movie. But hey, that's pro wrestling for you. So, Fyter Fest Dynamite, Fyter Fest Collision. Did you notice that on this show as well, two things that I said was going to happen happened? If anyone's been paying attention to what I've been saying for quite a while, two things happened that I said was going to happen. Not that I'm not an insider. I don't do that shit. I don't have sources. What's up, Zodiac? How are you? You've missed a lot of news. If you want to catch up, you can definitely get it. It was a very entertaining 4 hours. Yeah, it was. Yep, Catherine, that's one of them. Omega Okada, winner take all. The right choice. The right match. I told you, what, 6 months ago that was going to happen? At least AEW finally caught up to me. Thanks, Tony Khan. It's the only time I'm going to say thank you in my life. Unless he makes it the main event, then you'll get two out of me. But there's one more thing that ironically I said was going to happen, and I said it last week. I didn't expect it to happen so soon, but I said one other thing was going to happen. And it happened quicker than I expected. Death in Texas. We missed out on that generational tag team. IRS and The Undertaker would have been the generational tag team of the 90s for WWE. We were robbed. I don't know because I haven't watched SmackDown in so long, Fernando. I can't remember the last. Actually, I remember the last SmackDown episode I watched. I've been watching a lot older SmackDown recently. Speaking of which, I actually have something for all of you. A little treat. You guys realize, as you guys know, we've been doing watch-alongs on the channel. We've been doing classic watch-alongs. And I think they're very good fun. They've been a good success so far. No, I think you got to keep it as black, but you still got to keep the rest of it as bronze. You still got to keep the main part of it bronze, but it should always be a black strap. I'm going to drop you guys a link for the wrestling content. Again, this person has other random videos that, again, why I've got no idea, and I refuse to watch them. Thanks, Glenn. Right here, directly from Daily Motion, this person's account has got hundreds of old wrestling matches. AEW, WCW, WWE, TNA, like the list goes on. There is a load of matches here. The proper barbed wire massacres on here. Slammiversary's first King of the Mountain for the original TNA titles on here. Anything you can think of is on here. Near enough. We have a good source of matches. And the good thing is, they're all back to back. They're full match videos, the lot. Sadly, no. That's a great question. Could we do a classic Royal Rumble or Battle Royal watch along? We will do a Royal Rumble watch along if someone adds it to the list, I suppose. Thanks, Glenn. There's so many matches on here, guys. We've got a grand spank on here. I'm not even kidding. Sadly, there's a lot of Roman Reigns matches on here, so I apologize in advance. It goes Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, AJ Styles, and then the rest is your imagination. If you get it right, I'll say yes or no. Okada, Taker, they're all in my top 10. Sting, he's in my top 10. All fun and games. But yeah, my top 3 all time, my top 3 favourites ever is Bret, Angle, and Styles. See if there's any more. Deonna Purrazzo has just cooked an absolute moron. She will forever be my favourite women's wrestler of the modern era. Fucking dynamite. Okay, before we get into this, what is everybody's thoughts on this week's wrestling? And I'm going to ask a totally different question. What is your mindset for an unrelated event? Because obviously this is AEW. Your thought, if anyone's seen them, what's your thoughts ahead of Against All Odds and Money in the Bank? And then obviously I'll ask you about what you thought about this 4 hours of madness. Again, I've got some critiques about this. Me and Catherine had a conversation earlier on. We were laughing about something as well, so I'm going to bring this up tonight too. Perfect is in my top 10 as well. Mick Foley was incredible. Mick Foley as Cactus Jack is in my top 15. 7 out of 10 last show last night. I think I'm actually looking more forward to next week's 4-hour show than last night's. That's fair to say. I actually like that they're doing it this way. I know a lot of people might not, but I actually think they're being clever. It did not feel like 4 hours at all, I agree. It felt like 2.5. It didn't feel like you were being stretched. And also, ladies and gentlemen, just for reference, you will get a watch along tonight. You will get one match. Is Goldust in your top 20? No. Yeah, I was quite surprised they weren't on it either, but I think that's a good thing that they weren't there as well, because it made you miss them. You are going to get one match tonight, so, and I'm going to do this fairly. No, not Papa Shango versus the Brooklyn Brawler. We're doing it from our list. But I'm going to make it special. So let me just get up Spin the Wheel, because we love Spin the Wheel on this channel. I'm going to get the prediction stream, the predictions list that we have. So everybody in the chat right now, let's see, 1 to 64. Guys in the chat, pick a number between 1 and 64. Okay. 64, 63, 62, 61. 18. It is indeed a good choice. There's only going to be one lucky winner, but it means that match will not feature in future episodes. Okay, so 58. 64, 63, 62, 61, 60, 59, 58. Ooh. Glenn, you've picked an amazing match. Now, I'm not going to show you the matches until I've got a full number. But I'm going to put the numbers beside them, and you guys will see it. Zodiac picked number 33. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I can confirm one wrestler is back to back. "32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27. James, I think, honestly, I think so far you've picked one that's absolutely, is probably the best one. And that's not an insult to anybody's picks. It's just, he's picked a great one. I think if we're looking at order in terms of best matches, it goes James' pick, then Glenn's, then Zodiac. I'm just waiting to see if anyone else has got any more numbers between 1 and 64. So I need one from Catherine, Maria, Nick, and Fernando. Fletch as well. Maria says number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, Jesus, Maria. All I'm going to say is, I think you've beaten everybody. Catherine says 21. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Catherine's not going to like this, but she's picked a women's match. But it's a good one. James has picked 25. Right, let's see which one Fernando's picked. So, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, would you like to see what matches you've all chosen at random? Remember, there can only be one winner. Only one match will be shown on this stream. on screen, this is what you all have selected. So, number 58, Kurt Angle versus Desmond Wolfe inside the cage. Number 5, Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada 2 out of 3 falls match at Dominion. Number 21, Awesome Kong versus Gail Kim for the Knockouts title. Number 25, Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Then we've got number 33. We've got Kurt Angle versus Bobby Lashley for the Impact World title. Well, the TNA World title as it was then. And then James, number 27, Okada versus Jay White from Madison Square Garden. That, my friends, is what you've picked. What will we do? Will we spin the wheel? Actually, let's do this before we spin the wheel. Ladies and gentlemen, put in the chat what match you think we are going to end up reviewing tonight. Well, rewatching. Drop in the chat what do you think is going to be, and then we'll spin the wheel. I mean, Kurt Angle's an absolute machine. Having a lot of Okadas, a lot of Angles, a lot of Angle. Same with a lot of Okada, a lot of Okada. What are we thinking? And then we'll spin. James is going for the Angle Desmond. Zodiac's going for Okada Omega. Okay. If we do that, that's going to be over an hour and a half. Angle cage match. So you've also gone for the Kurt Angle versus Desmond. On the next stream, we would have had Okada versus Omega anyway. But here we go. It's time to spin the wheel. Oh, you guys don't know. Interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, for your viewing pleasure this evening, the match that we will be rewatching is this. The WrestleMania 19 rematch. Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar. So that was number 25. So well done, Fernando. Fernando's pick wins the event. But before we do that, it was phenomenal indeed. It was phenomenal. Before we get there, we got to do business. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have got AEW to review first. We have got Fyter Fest Dynamite, Fyter Fest Collision to get through. So, let's begin. He's on commentary later in the night. He's on commentary throughout this as well. No, he's not, thankfully. But he is on your Collision commentary team. Tony Schiavone opens the show, calls out Will Ospreay. This, of course, is to discuss the brawl on Collision between himself and Swerve. They're button heads. We know where this is effectively going. But of course, we need it to be confirmed. But eventually, it is confirmed on the show. We receive confirmation that next week on AEW Summer Blockbuster, again, that's a name and a half. Summer Blockbuster, we will feature Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland 2. The challenge has been made for Big Pressure. And considering Big Pressure, there is big pressure here on Will Ospreay to deliver now. The pressure, of course, since losing the Owen Hart Cup final. The pressure to prove, can he keep up with what's in store for him? Can Will Ospreay get the result against Swerve? Would like to see this match be 30 minutes with a clean finish, but I don't think so. I would love for it to be a clean finish as well, but I think it's going to end in a DQ. I think it'll end in a DQ of some sort. I think there might be some costly interference as well, and I think something tells me we are going to have Hangman clashing with Swerve next week as well. Might not be intentional, could be accidental, but I think we're going to get a clash between Swerve and Hangman next week. And I think Will's going to be left laying because of it. I could well be wrong, but I think that's what's going to happen. Even by accident, it's going to lead to something. It's either going to lead to Ospreay losing his shit, or the big, horrible decision's going to happen. The decision that, quite frankly, no one wants in AEW. There's one decision that Tony Khan must not make. But if he wants to get a shock on this show, he might pull the trigger. Not heel Ospreay. Half of it. Something just tells me that when heads collide and they butt heads with each other, something tells me that they might have Swerve pull the trigger. If that happens, how do you all feel about that? Be honest. There's no shame in saying you love it or you hate it. Be honest. I won't come at you for being crazy. if Swerve somehow turns heel, where do you think he goes from here? So that's basically summed up my fears as well. Unless Swerve gets the ultimate ego phase where he goes, well, I can take out the Death Riders on my own, and I'm still going to reign as the Supreme. I hope they don't pull the trigger. I hope they just tease it as competitive jealousy, but don't turn him heel. I think it's a bad idea. I certainly hope it doesn't happen. Challenges him for Summer Blockbuster again. I do like that name. Unfortunately, this segment is then ruined. Ruined by the Crew. This is crap. I'm sorry. This segment is now shit. I'm sorry. I'm a big fan of Lio Rush, but fuck me, Action Andretti bores the death out of me when he talks. This segment is poor. It doesn't add to anything. It doesn't contribute. It doesn't make it exciting. Not knocking on the match quality, however, but this was not good. Let's be real. Lio Rush didn't make it any better than he should have done. And that's actually quite disappointing, considering the fact that he's got a lot of fun energy around him. This I wasn't feeling it. I was really buzzed by the challenge of the match, though. I won't deny that. I was excited by the okay, Ospreay versus Lio Rush actually is good, because Lio Rush is a lot better than he was many years ago. But when he's stuck with Action Andretti, who looks like he's on roids, I just can't help but enjoy it. Nonetheless, I do really like this. It's a good one. But yes, that is set for the Collision side of the show. I'll take that any shape or form. Not to mention, before Ospreay even comes out, Tony Storm is absolutely brilliant. Like, that was seriously good. Jon Moxley. Oh. Jesus, Zodiac. You trying to have me killed in my head? Okay. We get a re-air promo from Collision before we get the World Champion. Of course, this is from Collision. This is the circumstance between Moxley and Briscoe. Again, this wasn't... The problem I have with the special shows is they didn't build to this. This is just, oh, I mentioned your kids. Let's have a wrestling match. I just can't do it. But what I can do, on the other hand, is unmitigated violence. And violence knows no bounds. So let's actually get some violence. And we have, in non-title action on this special, we get AEW World Champion Jon Moxley, accompanied by the Death Riders, because he can't do it on his own. And he is up against Kentucky Fried Martial Arts. That is pure entertainment, of course. Mark Briscoe, former Ring of Honor World Champion. The man's held everything in Ring of Honor, but now he's here for the shits and giggles. This match was brutal. It gives you a lot of that direct feel that a Moxley match does give. It's not catcher's catch. It's not technical wrestling. It's not high flying offense. It's prolonged smothering of the body and breaking you down. And this was good. He definitely, to avoid allegations of phoning it in, he actually looked good. He looked good in this singles match. And I'm going to give a little shout out here to Wheeler Gothic Justin Bieber Utah. Wheeler Utah's timing for interference was spot on. Like, credit to Wheeler Utah, he got his timing spot on last night. The interference angle when he makes Briscoe bleed, he didn't miss it. Yeah, I still think Wheeler Utah isn't as good as people claim he is, but he's not bad. But he doesn't belong in the Death Riders. I stand by that. But last night his timing was good. Very good timing. Very impressed. The J Driller was excellent. Like, really, really well done. I agree. Unlikely. Yeah, last night he was a heat magnet for the first time in his entire run. Last night was probably the first time in his entire run where he's actually generated heat. He hasn't done it elsewhere, in my opinion. People might not like that, but that's my honest truth. He does, however, throw him into the ring post. It's not enough, but it does lead to the blood. The violence back and forth between Moxley and Wheeler Utah, especially from the outside of the ring perspective. I mean, he's got Marina Shafir, who is going to get that ass everywhere. Claudio, of course, is a heavy hitter at speed. He's in and around. Oh, yeah, so do I. There's a lot of elements to Utah if they just tap into it, but theoretically they're not. Marina Shafir last night was the MVP of this match. I think her timing was far more impressive than Yuta, and she didn't miss a beat either. It's good to see that she's getting regular TV time. Marina Shafir. No matter what her role is, she's getting good timing, and that is important. If they don't do anything with her, then it's a waste. She's subtly becoming the most important member of that faction. The J Driller, of course, is only a 2 count. Oh, the referee, she always sucks. Proper trash. I was quite surprised as well because this is not a title match, and yet Jon Moxley is the first person to kick out the J Driller on AEW television. If it's not for the title, why does he have to kick out? They should have just left it at the J Driller. They didn't need to keep going, even though it went on to something good. The diving elbow drop counter into the choke was perfect. Another submission win from Moxley. Not a problem. Feel like they still could have done things a little bit differently. I don't necessarily think Mark had a problem. It's just weird. I think if there's no jeopardy, then he doesn't need to kick out the driller. Catherine, Jesus Christ. I swear, Catherine, like, you must have a switch or something. It was considerably good, Abu. Good seeing you. Catherine's being, well, you know the score.
Oh, God.
Honestly, I think Catherine rounds up all the men and all the king's horses and just goes, "I'll take you, and I'll take you, and I'll take you, and then you, and then maybe you," and then she lines them up and goes, "Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy." I don't remember that. I don't remember this. Just remember the Messiah was right. Yeah. Yabba dabba do. Okay. Fake outrage. Fake outrage. And it goes like this. Oh, 4 hours, only one women's match. People that don't watch, or they claim to watch, don't understand. Yes, we had this discussion earlier, but we need to have it now here because it's still relevant. So, there was one listed match on Dynamite Fyter Fest, which is okay. That's correct. But people claim there was only one match. There was two matches and a heavy women's segment involving the return of someone who I said was coming back very, very shortly. But this was where the outrage started. We're not going to praise Sky Blue, not for that, I mean or the talent. We're not going to praise Julia Hart for being an amazing wrestler and she's got a gimmick that she's established on her own. We're not going to praise Mina Shirakawa for her energy, her exuberance, her dance moves, and the fact she can wrestle. And we're not going to praise Timeless Tony Storm because why should we? It's basically what people are doing. Oh, one match. Cool. None of the fake bullshit. Simply put, we got some good use of women last night. Marina Shafir, good use in Briscoe versus Moxley. Anna Jay with Megan Bayne, Penelope Jugs, and then eventually Tay Melo who returned. Good segment for them. This tag team, really good. Thekla's debut was really good. Here's the funny thing. Women got represented last night. Milk. If I speak, I'll be in trouble. None of these people actually support women's wrestling. If they did, they would watch Ring of Honor, Women of Wrestling, Stardom, Marigolds. Until then, they need to shut the fuck up. Correct. Also, in terms of just strong women's representation, even NXT and TNA, they still represent women strongly. What's up, Mo? I think there's so much fake outrage when it comes to women's wrestling, and it's always the same thing. Oh, they didn't get them enough showing, they didn't do this for them. Well, that's a lie. Some talent begrudgingly are not on TV right now, but they're still not being ignored. I feel like people are jumping to conclusions quickly because they don't get the excitement. Exactly, they're not out here retweeting women's wrestling things, buy their merch. Also, last week Ring of Honor was on YouTube for free and had plenty of women on the show and only got 55k views. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you're not a real women's wrestling fan if you support Dana Brooke. I make the rules. If you truly support women's wrestling, back the wrestlers. Watch them instead of tweeting, "Oh, gee, I miss Sasha Banks." Watch her on Dynamite. Watch her on Collision. One moment, please. I am so going to get in trouble for this. I always win, Catherine. Don't you not know the rules? I'm about to make everybody laugh. So, let me just get my source material. One moment, ladies and gentlemen. I know, crazy, eh? I hope we don't get her hair versus hair match against Britt Baker. That'll be painful. This is Ash by Elegance. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare your laughing emojis, or prepare your truth emojis, or prepare for thank you Reece comments, because this is Ash by Elegance as a wrestler. Am I right or am I right? I'll wait. Okay, Catherine's saying I'm wrong. One more time for the people at the back. I just got into it with a drone of our Thekla right to Twitter. Let's have a look at Mo's account. I'm only kidding, Mo, but let's have a look. Oh. Okay, one other bit of news now. This is really funny. And then I'll have a look at this. Jonathan Coachman predicts that Triple H's time with WWE may conclude within the next 18 months. We predicted that within 18 months, Triple H will not be running WWE anymore. I actually feel kind of bad for him because I've always really, really liked him. Sure you did. But anyway, Mo Dutch. Good man. Let's see. Because knowing Mo's cooked this jabroni. And funny that, see when like Catherine was saying there about retweeting and defending women's wrestlers, just look at Ring of Honor. Great women's tag match apart from Thunder Rosa. But where is it? Oh, Mo, I wish they responded to your Thekla tweet about her doing the spider thing. Yeah. That's laughable. That's laughable. Like, Thekla did not steal that from Bray Wyatt. That's like people saying that, like, people should say that Pete Williams Pete Williams stole the Canadian Destroyer from the 1-2-3 kid, but he didn't. Exactly. I think it's stupid that people say, "Oh, XYZ stole this." Like, they just moan for everything. Announced Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, and Stephanie Vaquer versus Naomi, Roxanne Perez, and Julia is officially set for SmackDown tomorrow night. Rhea Ripley with the pinfall on Roxanne Perez. I won't defend certain female wrestlers, and 100% will not defend Ash. Why on earth would you want to defend Ash? He couldn't win a Pokemon League championship for over 25 years. That was pain on my own fandom. That hurts. Everything has been stolen in wrestling. Nothing is really new. Pretty much everything has been done. Exactly. Yeah, the 1-2-3 kid did the Canadian Destroyer. Yeah. You never seen it? There's a video clip of it. It was in WCW. 1997. Amazing Red as well. Amazing Red done it as well. To be fair, Pete Williams definitely made it famous. But obviously, the best version for me is definitely Pete Williams' version. But Adam Cole's Panama Sunrise was incredible. There's so much that's incredible to see. Having said that, there's a fine line to gimmick infringement and no gimmick infringement. Check. TKO let Francis Ngannou as the reigning UFC heavyweight champion walk rather than pay him remotely what Roman Reigns is making. Who's the bigger star as well? People are not going to be ready for that conversation, but who's the bigger star? The NWA wasn't original when it came to the United States, stolen from Japan. Correct. I think people realize that nothing in wrestling is original, but the way you present it can be original. But that's the truth. The only thing that's original is your presentation. So hold that, Triple H fans, when you say Triple H does something original. He doesn't. Just like Tommy Dreamer doesn't do anything original for TNA. Tony Khan, realistically, does he do anything original for AEW? No. No, he does not. But you know what's original? Their presentation. Here's a fun thing, and this might sound stupid. For me, the last truly creative invention into wrestling that hasn't happened in years. Many people are not going to like this. For me, the last true innovation to wrestling was Ultimate X and King of the Mountain. You can call me TNA bias on that, but tell me where I'm telling lies. I'll say this as well. I can't call Six-Sided Ring for TNA original because it was already being done in other countries. But TNA made it their own presentation. The Ultimate X, King of the Mountain, they're original. Money in the Bank, you could realistically say Money in the Bank, but then I can argue you on this because you've had ladder matches with contracts before. But then you could say Money in the Bank in terms of the uniqueness of Multi-Man. So you could say Money in the Bank was the last WWE original concept. Elimination Chamber, possibly. Unless you're German, then you don't want to tune in. But, and that says a lot for me because I'm part German. But that's the reality. Yeah, that Jonathan Coachman post that I brought up, that's I was quoting that from Covalent TV. Manic. So credit to the boys, obviously. It was their post I saw. That's what I was quoting about Jonathan Coachman. I wouldn't be surprised if he is gone in 18 months. Here's another thing as well. Before I'm lucky NXT fans don't show up in here because then I'd have to cook them. The anonymous Raw GM, less said the better. NXT fans will probably come in here and say, "What about Iron Survivor?" And then I'll just go back and say, "Yeah, King of the Mountain." I mentioned King of the Mountain. King of the Mountain for me was a last innovation. Yeah, sooner, hopefully, rather than later. If someone says to me, "Oh, the Iron Survivor's original," I'm just going to come back and say, "Well, no, it's not," because Iron Survivor is. No, Maria, don't apologize. It's okay. Don't apologize. It's good that you're still asking it anyway. I appreciate that. Iron Survivor is basically a timed version of King of the Mountain with Championship Scramble rules. So Iron Survivor is not original. The name might be, but the concept isn't. The presentation's original. So there's something for people who are over obsessed about who their favorite booker is or which booker's the best. The presentation's important, but name me something original from a pro wrestling company in years. TLC, you could realistically say. It's not a bad shout to mention TLC. But I can't, and I'll say this truthfully: I will not credit TNA for Lethal Lockdown. By the way, Lethal Lockdown is brilliant, but we know where Lethal Lockdown comes from. So I won't use Lethal Lockdown as an original construction. No, Mo, I 100% agree, mate. I completely agree. Exploding barbed wire deathmatch is a possibility. As I mentioned, you could potentially say Stadium Stampede, but they've had stadium shows like that before. Puerto Rico were bad for it. The Royal Rumble, is it really original? Because you already had big battle royals. You just turned into a pay-per-view. I don't know necessarily if you can mention the Royal Rumble as original, because battle royals have been around for years. And the only difference is they made, well, let's just make it timed intervals. The Royal Rumble is brilliant, though. when it's not made to look like a bloody joke. I think that's something we need to do as a show. Everybody, I think we need to do that as a show. What is the last truly inspirational, original wrestling ideas and that have led to people copying them? Feast or Fire, yep, that's original. No other company's done it. War Games is original. Yep. War Games is probably the biggest stolen concept of them all. Because every company's got a version of War Games. Yeah, Jim Crockett Promotions. And War Games hasn't been good since then. War Games hasn't been good since WCW folded. Because the WWE version, let's be real, you can like an NXT, that's okay. I don't mind. You can like the WWE version, that's okay. I don't. Because War Games is not about pinfalls. I'm sorry. War Games is about beating the piss out of someone until they quit or someone submits. Yeah, they have. And I find that odd. Please tell me Hell in a Cell was original. Yes. Hell in a Cell is technically original. Didn't the Ultimate X concept have a tournament connected to it or something like that? Or was there a separate Ultimate X Cup for the championship? The Ultimate X Cup did have the Ultimate X match as part of the tournament rules, but it was already a separate match before that. The Ultimate X Cup came later. But the Ultimate X Cup led to the winning captain got a title match. But the Ultimate X Cup was fun. Actually, I've just thought of another original idea. The scaffold match, yes, that was an original idea. Jim Cornette's been a moany prick ever since that match. There's one other great wrestling concept. Anarchy in the Arena. Anarchy in the Arena, Abu. Here's another one. A funny one. Yeah, it was amazing. Do you guys know what the G1 is based on? I love the original version of the Elimination Chamber. For me, the Elimination Chamber up until 2008, 2009 was perfect. Do you guys know what the G1 is based on? Now that in itself is original, but do you know what the G1 is based from? If anyone gets this, I'm gonna really be impressed. The original part of the G1 concept obviously is the points and the de facto groupings, but that tournament concept is based on a tournament that WWE should never have stopped. Oh, just gave it away. Mania 4 was original because it led to Survivor Series 98. You're close, so that's a good one. That is also an inspiration itself. It's based on the original King of the Ring. There you go, Abu. The G1 tournament is based on the original King of the Ring. And what makes the G1 special is the G1 was never stopped. WWE backed out of one of their most popular concepts. Stupid. Stupid. But yeah, try and find me something original in wrestling now. Because they're stupid, exactly. Find me something original now in wrestling. When you do, I'll be happy. The Crockett Cup is another. They were both at the same time. Because the King of the Ring's been around for years. The Crockett Cup was amazing. But yes, so King of the Ring didn't do points, but King of the Ring, like the way the tournament was structured, the G1 led to the G1. But the original part of the G1 was they made it a competitive tournament sense with most points, progresses, etc. So that's the Japanese original point to it. That's what made it special. Dusty Rhodes did have a great mind. Too bad they can't stop speaking his name. King of the Ring was a star-making event for sure. Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar. Monet is doing great as a heel. She really got under my skin last night. She had quite the performance last night. We're just about to come on to her. The Scramble match had some uniqueness to it. There was some uniqueness to that. But the Scramble is pretty much just an extension of a gauntlet. The best part about it, though, is multiple pinfalls within the time limit, which I actually think is good to have, because that can lead to a different variety of story. The match itself is the story, but obviously people are so obsessed with what story is, and they always get it wrong. Moving on, you've got the timeless one, the dancing one, the darkest personification of ass, and then you've got Julia Hart. Timeless Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa versus Julia Hart, Sky Blue. Casino Battle Royal. Yeah, actually. Yeah. Nicest piece of ass. Julia Hart, darkness personified. The dancing one, the trepidation of the timeless one, and Mercedes Moné having steak. I think Taz wanted to put extra beef on because he was looking at that steak. At least I hope it was the steak. Mercedes Moné obviously on commentary. Again, have more talent on commentary, please. It brings life to the show. Especially somebody who's flamboyant. Like Mercedes Moné, yes, if you don't like Mercedes Moné, that's okay, right? She ain't for everybody. No one is for everybody. She can fucking buy me a house. If she's wanting to. But I'm not paying $99.99 for that house. But yeah, not every wrestler's going to be for you, and I understand that. But you have to give this woman flowers when she really does deliver. She delivered during this one. Give her some respect, please. Even the biggest Mercedes Moné haters. Give this woman some credit where credit's due. Last night, she mugged off the world champion. She humiliated Mina Shirakawa. She backed up Julia Hart. And she made Sky Blue shockingly giddy. So, Kyle Fletcher, keep an eye out for your woman. That's all I'm gonna say. I think you might need to start wearing black, my friend, not pink. Maria with excellent match, better post-match segment. I agree. Zodiac Mercedes in the ring is hard to deny, 100%. Robert Monet really does deliver. Yes, she does. She might not deliver every single week, but when she delivers, she is there to the letter. On the microphone, I understand, but inside the rope, she's golden. Not all her promos hit. I think everyone can admit this. Not every single one of her promos hit. But what really does hit is those one or two little lines that she has that really leave a zinger in your head. Like, not every promo is going to be picture perfect. That there's no one in wrestling who never once had a great promo every single night. The greatest talkers of all time, Jim Ross, Stone Cold, The Rock, Roddy Piper, Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, Sting, for God's sake, even Taker during his badass era. AJ Styles, Mr. Perfect, Bobby Heenan, Kurt Angle, Bret Hart. Even though I absolutely hate the guy, John Cena. Ultimate Warrior, yeah. The Ultimate Pukester, Hulk Hogan. AJ Styles had some good promos, but he also had some really bad ones. All the guys I've mentioned, including Macho Man Randy Savage, they all had brilliant promos, DDP as well. Guess what? They had some that really didn't fucking make sense, and they were boring to listen to. No one is perfect when it comes to promos. It's a learning curve. Zodiac, I think that's a very fair take. Mo says they can't and won't because they know they wish she was still in WWE, so they rather trash her every chance they can. No, that's true. And here's the thing that pisses me off the most. When you're a fan of that person, say, well, I'm going to use someone I'm a massive fan of, Deonna Purrazzo. In fact, no, I'll say two of them actually at the same time. Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green. Both of them were in WWE years ago. They went to the Indies. Then they went back to WWE. Then they went to TNA. And one of them's now back in WWE. The other's in AEW. Another one was also in Ring of Honor as well. Both of them were. Did I stop being a fan of theirs just because they went to a promotion? They changed promotions. Did I stop being a fan of Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo? Did I tweet, oh, I miss seeing them in XYZ promotion? Have I said it on these streams? Oh, I miss seeing Chelsea Green. I miss watching Chelsea Green wrestle. I miss watching Deonna Purrazzo wrestle. I mean, to be fair, I can say about Deonna, she hasn't been on TV for a wee while. But the fact remains, have I ever said this? Because they've went to a certain promotion. No, I haven't. because that's ultimate disrespect to a talent. So people online, if you're meant to be a fan of someone, you don't just stop watching because you don't like another promotion. You go and listen. Yeah, same here, Mo. I'm a huge fan of Lucha Bros, and I hate the shit that Penta's getting. Like that's horrible. But it's bollocks. What is going on with them? They're being made to work like pensioners when they shouldn't have to. Let them work their own way. They're not going to hurt anyone if they work their own way. You change their style, they like freak accident. What happened to Chad Gable was a freak accident because he was told to slow down. And also, when on earth did Pentagon Jr. ever use the gory special with a butterfly pile driver? Last time I checked, it's gory special package pile driver combination. Whoever told him to do that, you nearly had Chad Gable killed. That just shows you do not know the work of Pentagon Jr. Because I've never seen Penta do it that way. AEW, Lucha Underground, TNA, not once. You find me a clip where he's done that, then I can say, well, I was wrong. But I've never, in those three companies alone, I've never seen him do the gory special and a butterfly pile driver. Ridiculous. Robert, I appreciate your full blown loyalty to one, my friend. I absolutely respect that. I do. I respect that all in the world. That is a great quality from a wrestling fan to one particular company. I absolutely appreciate and respect that. HBK should have got one late title run. Yeah, he was offered multiple times to be champion after he won it in '02. I think he was offered it twice, and he said, "Nah, it's okay. I don't need it." I'm like, mate, people wanted to see you as WWE champion in 2007. People wanted to see him be world champion in 2008 and still get the enjoyment of a Randy Orton heel title reign when Orton was actually interesting at the time. And the belt can be on HBK for a month and then it goes back to Chris Jericho. But he said no. Like, that was crap. Hello, Lard Bark, how are you? Anyway, back to the action. I really loved this match. I not truth be told, I think all four women got great involvement. I like the mixture of styles in the ring. You had brawlers, you had technical ability here, you had the mixture of high flying moves, outside the ring offense. You had Mercedes Moné being a troll. You had Taz trying to get a sniff of the steak. Excalibur just being Excalibur, and Ian Riccaboni was just being the best commentator on the entire 4 hours of the show. Yep, Sky Blue is getting herself back in the best way. Julia Hart is cemented. We are getting tag teams in the best way. We're getting tag teams naturally, not forced, natural. Mm-hmm. I agree. That's something I do have to say. I think she's afraid that she's going to get injured again. And that can be a big stepping block for anyone. It's scary. I think she's afraid that she'll get injured again. And necessarily shouldn't be afraid. But also don't give up on herself. She's got the ability and she's a good promo. Yes, we do need tag team titles now. It makes sense. They've got good teams there that are clicking. Especially one tag team that's now back. I support people going to work where they want, but leaving the place that handed the best story in AEW history like that does, I admit, leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Jariah June. Yeah. Um, from a woman's perspective, it's the best story. From an overall perspective, it's top two, top three. But I agree. I think it's distasteful. If you want to go work somewhere, no problem. But you force creative change as well. So I agree with Maria. Like, Mariah May chose to come out before a pay per view and say, "Oh, by the way, I want to leave." We didn't even get a great conclusion to that feud. How dare you? How dare you? Like that. If a talent leaves, a talent leaves. But to do it like that is absolutely disgusting. But hey, I don't criticize AEW or AEW talents. It's okay. That wasn't a criticism. I was praising AEW there. But you know what? Mariah May's gone. Whoop to do. Tay Melo is back. And Thekla is here. Mariah who? That's all I'm gonna say. I did like the heels in this match particularly, and I want to say this. There's one reason why the the heels really took it out of Mina Shirakawa. They left her in the ring for a long time, prevented prevented Tony Storm from having an impact, and that's actually a good tactic. The biggest threat, obviously, is a champion. If a champion's in a tag match, if you can neutralize the champion, then you're going to succeed. Now, obviously, they didn't win the match last night. Tony Storm, Mariah May. So, see, I'm saying her name because we've said her name so many times. Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa did win last night, but there were some really good sequences last night, and we're building to All In. We have three potential main event matches ahead. Mo, thank you, sir. It's good to see it. And yeah, we absolutely will do 12-hour shift. Jesus, mate, you are a trooper. Nippin, good to see you. We'll catch up soon, Mo. We'll catch up soon. I absolutely loved as well how the match ended with Tony Storm just eating Mercedes Moné's food. That was perfect. She hated that. What DM? Moving on, we get a Hurt Syndicate segment that kind of dragged a little bit. All right, okay. I hadn't seen. Sorry. Um, so this segment does go on a little bit, but the MVP obviously is bigging up. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna come to that. Don't you worry. So MVP obviously is talking up his tag team champions as a good man does. Says no matter the tag teams past or present, you put them against them, they still don't take the titles from them before he then high praises MJF, which is just laughable. MJF is nothing now. He's just a member of a group that he doesn't even fit into. MJF then talks about Mystico, confirms that at Grand Slam Mexico he is going to wrestle him, which, okay, Mystico has to win that. Speedball Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, and Commander then come out. Commander's very passionate on the mic here, talking about MJF and the Hurt Syndicate insulting Lucha Libre, his culture, and Mexico obviously insulting everything about it, offending the masked man. Speedball Mike Bailey, of course, with Kevin Knight, they back up the friend, they rush the ring, forcing the tag champs out of the ring. MJF, well, unbuttons his suit jacket, he runs in the ring, gets his ass kicked. And a challenge is made for next week's blockbuster, which should be good. Should be good. I know, Abel. I know. LFI appear next. Not particularly special. LFI in this one, I'm not gonna deny it. Hold on 1 second. Abel, I don't know if you've seen it, but Spain are beating France 4-1. Yeah, 100% Zodiac. No denying that at all. I love as well that MJF is a little bit. Yeah, they are far too good. I think it's funny as well the cockiness of MJF around how he's insulting Will Ospreay, and then he mentions Happy Gilmore too. Jesus Christ, I can't believe they made that film. The AEW crowd also did that WWE thing that we've been critiquing a lot recently about singing heel wrestlers' songs, but then booing the talent straight away. They chant for Lashley and Benjamin, then immediately boo one of them. That pandering shit's annoying. I barely remember their faces nipping. My celebrity crush? I ain't got a lot of time for that, my friend. I don't have time to answer that one, I'm afraid. Not right now. Good match. They're pushing LFI even better because Roosh is top tier. If you're looking at celebrity crushes, it's the likes of Scarlett Johansson, Anna Diamas, and I mean that Sydney Sweeney's alright. There's a few others. I also liked hearing him say that if he wants to be the world champion, he needs to start wrestling more. Yeah, exactly. Blaster Casterberg comes out. She's awesome. She is awesome. It was an excellent trios match, and I'm glad that they're pushing LFI and they're not downgrading Kevin Knight, Commander, and Speedball. They're using them all in the best way. They're all exciting to watch. You don't feel empty handed with those guys, which is exactly what you don't want. Max Caster's such a loser. Yeah. So true. No idea, Glenn. Give me something challenging, because those three are just avoid all three. because it's animation. Max Caster, of course, comes out. He wants a petition from the. He has a petition that he is the best wrestler alive, and he wants the referee to sign it. Sure. Whatever you say, Chief. Probably. Yeah, I hate that chant. But Powerhouse Hobbs was brilliant though. He just completely tore him apart. And then you're how long can this gimmick go on for? Ask Tony Khan. I mean, look how long he kept the Acclaim for. I got no idea. We have our main event of this. Oh shit. I said a challenge, but you gave me a fun one. Okay, so I'm kissing Anne Hathaway, I'm marrying Jessica Alba, I'm avoiding Natalie Portman. Come on, give me another challenge. Come on, give me a real challenge. Give me a wrestler's challenge. And they uglies like Charlotte Flair and all that crap. Give me people that I actually like and make it fucking difficult. And then you'll see me really give you an answer. Your Fyter Fest Dynamite main event is here. It is the Fatal 4-Way that did not fail to deliver. This was excellent. Oh, that's easy. Oh, easy, 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 easy. So for Abel's one, kiss and marry Mercedes, avoid Charlotte and Becky. For Glenn, kiss Bliss, marry AJ Lee, avoid the Bella twins with a barge pole. Easy. Main event goes for well over 25 minutes. Thank you. This was wonderful. I don't care if people don't like flippy shit or if they don't like fast paced style and people are getting straight back up after moves. This match had every form of style you could want and more. It was perfect. This was how you represent a mid card championship to the fullest. You give it presentation, you give it time, you give it purpose. This was wonderful. Brody King was the standout for me. And here's what I think. Before he becomes world champion, I think Kenny Omega will put over Brody King. This match was honestly perfect. I like the outside the ring sequences. I like the use of multiple variants of a suplex. Brody King's power and speed was on display. Claudio Castagnoli's natural strength. Kenny Omega's endurance and resilience. And Dorado was entertaining as fuck. Fun fact, this is how you use partnerships. You had across both shows talent from your partnership companies, they all got a strong showing. None of them won a championship, but they got a great showing, and fans got to see them live. I thought it was honestly, I thought it was beautiful, and just for everybody, I have these just for you guys. This is just such a cool visual. But then, to cap off the night of Dynamite, at long last, the big encounter. Okada, in the coolest suit he's ever worn, comes out, goes face to face with the international champion. Both men fight, they clash, they try to hit each other, each with their finishing maneuver. We get a little lasting stare down, and then the match I've been telling you for months finally gets announced. Over a month to go. Title versus title. Champion versus champion. And because it's title versus title, I think the Continental Classic rules will be wavered. Jesus, Abu, Jesus. I think the rules will be. I think the rules will be manipulated a little bit so we don't get the 20-minute time limit rule. I think this will get about 35 minutes. And I'm going to petition this heavy. It should be the main event of All In. I know I said it months ago and I'm sticking by it. I hope this is the main event. I think Omega's going to win it, Abu. I know I said it all when he won the title that that's where they're going anyway. They're still going to Okada versus Omega, but they added the title. I think Omega's going to win. I would love Okada to be the first AEW Intercontinental Champion, but no matter who wins, we're in for a treat. It should be the main event. Yeah, true. I always go back to when we got the IWGP World Title not main eventing ahead of the Intercontinental title because the Intercontinental title had the better story. I would put it to the fans. Let the fans choose. Monet versus Storm, Okada versus Omega, Hangman versus Moxley. Those should be the final 3 matches of the show, but let the fans vote. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a fair way to say it. The world title realistically should always main event, but the good thing is now there's 38 days or something until All In. That's plenty of time to put proper build into your biggest title pictures. Make them feel something. They've got a chance to make it special. Let's get it. As Dynamite ends, well, the 2-hour Dynamite section ends with the 2-hour Collision half of Fyter Fest beginning, because again, this is 4 hours. We have Will Ospreay coming out to end Dynamite. Lio Rush comes out to start Collision. Again, I don't care much for Action Andretti. I didn't like the segment when they ruined Will Ospreay's segment at on the opening hour of Dynamite, but I liked the match. I thought the match was good, and even for an unserious match to Ospreay, he made it feel serious. I thought it was really good, and winning with the Styles Clash, chef's kiss. Obviously, post-match, the crew would attack Ospreay. Out comes Hangman Adam Page. He helps. He, of course, helps Will Ospreay, and then discusses that he is going to beat Jon Moxley, and he doesn't need help. Really, really good. I quite like that. Ospreay would then come back to save Hangman because the Death Riders would come out. He comes out with a steel chair to help him. I thought it was quite good in the sense that it was a good little segment, a little bit of fun. Interesting. See, for all the AEW don't tell stories, well, Moxley, Hangman, Ospreay, and Swerve is a story. It's actually really good, by the way. Ricochet as well, his little segment as well was kind of good about who he's trying to build. We might see a decent group out of him. Up next, we get a tag match between Templario and Atlantis Jr. up against FTR. Short, sweet, exciting. We got a win from FTR, but screw Stokely Hathaway. He's boring. Same here, James. I cannot wait. I'm absolute buzzing for it. I think we're in for a real treat. We deserve it. It was a good little finish. All In is July 12th. Yeah, that non-promo was funny. Up next, we get a segment from Don Callis because we're about to enter a trios tag match between any luchador of their choosing and Proto Shita versus Los Outrunners and Bandito. He chooses Hechicero. Hechicero should have been in the Fatal 4-Way, even though I like Dorado, but this was still a very, very good match. Hechicero is really good. Could Proto Shita be the tag team of the Don Callis family? We don't know, but I like the presentation. Don Callis on commentary, that man does not fail to deliver. He's really entertaining. He's really exciting. He has perfect timing. He knows how to put people down. I love his use of insults because he sells it. I agree. He was really selling it as well, which is brilliant television. Oh, that is what he does so well. Like, he advocates so well. I love that. I really do. And fair play. Here's something as well. Fair play to CMLL for letting Hechicero get used so much, because look at him. Look how much use he's got on AEW. That's added to CMLL's appeal. Like, that adds appeal. It's perfect. The Brainbuster gets the win. That's how you do it. I like the Brainbuster. It's always been a good move. I know. Whatever he wants for Takeshita, I don't know. We get a brutal recap from last week's tag team street fight. And then after that, Megan Bayne and Penelope Jugs drags Anna Jay to the stage. She's going for her release F5. And out comes the woman I told you was going to be returning very soon. The Pride of Brazil. Tay Melo has returned to All Elite Wrestling. Thank God. We can get Anna Jay and Tay Melo back as a tag team. Let them run. Oh, who dropped a subscriber? You get your ass back as a subscriber now. Re-establishing this team, good, because that means Harley Cameron can stay amongst them, but Harley Cameron can focus on the single. I'm glad that we've got this tag team back. Ty J, I actually have really missed it. And we're going to get some good brawls out of them as well. So good. Anthony Bowens has challenged Kyle Fletcher for Summer Blockbuster next month. I can't wait for that. I really can't. Another Fatal 4-Way up next. One headline Dynamite, the other headline Collision. Fatal 4-Way for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. Prepubescent Wayne defends against AR Fox, who had the best reaction of the entire match. Sammy Guevara, who didn't get as big a reaction as his wife. And Lee Johnson. So many attempts at pinfalls, submissions, near falls, the lot. This was good. Sammy Guevara obviously is reaffirming himself, which is good. But the highlight here was AR Fox with his crowd reactions. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Christian Cage is something's going to happen very soon in the build up to All In. Christian Cage is going to get turned on very soon. It could be that Copeland might not be fully ready to go, which is a possibility. I don't know. I don't think he's anything beyond the mid card scene, but he's good for that though. He should get pushed in that scene strongly. Hurt Syndicate versus FTR. Yeah, heel versus heel match might be interesting. Ricochet was on commentary here. I did like that. I think I was absolutely pissing myself all the praise he was giving Christian. Like that was so funny. But again, fun match. Not a lot of faults in it. But a big reaction like that means you've got to wake up, Tony Khan. You've got to wake up. The Toxic Spider makes her debut next. Thekla. See, when we said last week when people jumped the gun too early? Oh, the presentation was bad. in the space of a week, they've rectified that. Look at her entrance. Look at the way they portrayed the video package. They completely turned that around in the space of a week. Thekla, Lady Frost is a good first opponent. I enjoyed that match. That was good. That was exciting. That's the spider walk into the spear, then the death trap submission. That's gonna win her umpteen matches, titles, the lot in AEW. And Queen Aminata next week. Good. Queen Aminata's a fun opponent. And I liked her promo soon after as well. I thought that was really well done. It was really well done. Main event, 8-person tag, Paragon and Daniel Garcia versus the Don Callis family. Again, as Zodiac's mentioned, the commentary trying to get the TNT title on Kyle Fletcher. This match was so good. I really enjoyed this one. It was good to see a babyface win that was actually convincing for the babyfaces in terms you can actually believe their victory. Josh Alexander was the highlight for me from the heel perspective. Babyfaces, no surprise, is Adam Cole. But all 8 men gave us something to do. I like this. This was a fun little main event. I think it shouldn't have been the main event, though. I'm going to say truthfully, I would have gave the title match the main event. But I liked it nonetheless. I think we were treated to 4 good hours of television. And all I'm going to say next is keep it going. But if you've got TV specials coming up, this is my big criticism to you, Tony Khan. If you've got TV specials, make sure you build them. The matches were fun, the show was fun, but at least build them. The only match that was built to was the Fatal 4-Way for the international title. Absolutely. Keep the momentum. Let it rise to the occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, before we move on to our main event of the evening, your final thoughts on AEW Fyter Fest. A+ from Maria. Wow. I'm actually going to give it an A. I'm going to give it a solid A. Swerve Osprey contract signing, MJF getting back in the ring, Mercedes, Tony Bill. There's a lot of yes. 100%, my friend. And you're rewarding people at the same time. That's what matters. Tomorrow, just to let you know, we will do. You know, we're going to do this every single time now. We're going to do our TV reviews, but we're going to have one match from the list at random, picked by you guys, and then we'll still do our watch along shows. What do we think? Thumbs up for that or thumbs down? 8.5 from Fernando. Overall, decent show. AEW going along smoothly so far, says James. I think that's fair. Zodiac, B+ to A-. I'll take that. Thumbs up from Fernando. Perfect. Zodiac with a thumbs up as well. And a thumbs up from Maria. Maria. Fernando. James. Zodiac. Right. Main event. You know what time it is. I'm gonna check. Let's see if we can get it. We should be able to. There it is. Ooh. Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar is also on Daily Motion for the New Japan match. Yes. I can actually add that to the list now. I was actually looking for it to see if I could find it on that, if it was possible, but since I found it, we're good. Anyway, we have a SummerSlam match to review. The way it's going, Zodiac, you might be right. Yeah, Hangman's booked. I thought if the winner dependent would change it. Right, guys. In the chat, if you've got multiple devices, join in because we're going to end the show with Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE title, the WrestleMania rematch at SummerSlam. 2003 delivered two masterpieces on pay-per-view, but it delivered a lot of great wrestling between these two across the year. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We begin. And I'm going to watch the promo package as well, because fuck it. Brock Lesnar's best match. I agree. I'm going to watch the full promo package on this 31-minute video. Fuck it. A promo package that was actually good, I might add. Recapping footage from Vengeance. And Angle did regain the title by pinning Brock clean, which was even more interesting. You had Big Show in this match, but he didn't take the pin, which was odd. If he hadn't broke his neck, Kurt Angle would have still been WWE champion because he was going to be champion for a full year. And then Brock would then beat him eventually. I like this scene as well when they used the friendship angle on Brock and Angle because it felt a lot like the competitive rivalry led to a friendship, which was good. And yeah, Brock then challenged him. She's like, here we go. Yeah, nobody brought out the best of Brock the way Curtin. To be fair, the only other person I think that brought out the best in Brock was Taker. Vince McMahon denies Brock Lesnar a rematch. Vince at this point was constantly getting stiffies for Brock. This is crazy as well. The storyline was wild when the cage was made. You just knew something was going to happen when they announced Lesnar versus Brock in the cage. Lesnar versus McMahon in the cage. Yeah, that was such a good thing. Lesnar concussion. Aye, right. Kurt Angle's referee. Boom. Lesnar faints. And we know what happens here. Ankle lock on Vince. And there's the kip up. F5. And Lesnar and Vince are together. Lesnar was a decent babyface, but he should never have been a babyface. There's a clip of him smashing Kendrick and Zach Gowen. He hopped on that one. Too soon for the hop along joke? Oh, sorry, there's a second one. The only thing that's wrong with this match is fucking who's on commentary. Yeah. Well, here comes the pain. Tony Chimmel was a brilliant announcer. Yeah, he was a hot babyface when he was with the big slow. I agree, but that was so bad. This is the best Lesnar. Oh, I've still got it. This is one of my favorite Kurt Angle singlets from his WWE run. Obviously, the all black singlet's my favorite. This might sound like an awkward thing to say, but for me, he was the best WWE champion of the Ruthless Aggression era. No worries. Angle's just got in the ring. It took 6 minutes just to get to the ring, so I'm gonna just go. On you go, Zodiac. Collar and elbow tie up. Here we go. Referee Mike Chioda. Brock breaks clean at the count of 3. I love Team Angle. Who's the best moonsault ever? Great Muta. Front face lock from a wrestling takedown from Angle. Firm grip from the champion on the challenger. Reversal into a hammerlock. Another takedown in a headlock. Base position, waist on the neck. classic. Angle versus Lesnar at SummerSlam. Back to the collar and elbow tie-up. Brock Lesnar has a waist grip here. Angle reversal, drops down, into a headlock again. Headlock takeover. Crowd applauding both men for this as well, which is really good. Here we go. Collar and elbow tie up, Brock with a heavy push, and there's the classic Lesnar jump around the ring. Ice cold from Lesnar. This is the only match. Do you not read the title of the show? This is a fan chose at random match from the list. Both men circling. Lesnar shoved into the turnbuckle. The beautiful people. Angle taunting Lesnar. The big gorilla is getting angry. Angle ducks. There's an arm drag. And another one. Oh, Angle misstep there. Third arm drag and he's out. Time for Lesnar to regroup. Oh, there's the anger. The big gorilla can't help himself. Lesnar parading the ring with the steel steps. It just shows that he just lost control. Tony Chimmel shitting his pants. Michael Cole crying like a little bitch. Taz, just fuck the lot of you. Lesnar's got the title belt. This is mine. Lesnar's leaving. Here comes Angle. Look at that. He actually hits him and he forward rolls. That's crafty. The beautiful people. Hurrah! Lesnar throws Angle against the ring apron. Gut kick from Angle. Rise Up was good. The 07 theme song, to be fair, was good. I can't remember the name of it. 04 to 07. The original SmackDown theme was good. Irish Whip. It's crazy that Papa Roach and Slipknot have got the most WWE theme songs for weekly TV shows. Overhead belly suplex into a cover, 2 count only. And then Lesnar's Chrome Dome takes a kick to the head. Angle, laying the kicks in. The greatest natural amateur wrestler of all time. Lesnar going for the F5, counters into a military press. And throws Angle to Kingdom Come. Lunatic Fringe. I know. It says a lot about them, eh? Look at that. Crushing the trachea. That is good wrestling. I love that Brock came back as like a UFC killer, but I just wish that they didn't completely changed Brock because I loved like his natural wrestling. He should have been a UFC killer and still did the wrestling that he did in 2002 to 04. Yep, Lunatic Fringe wasn't even original. Exactly. Brock Lesnar was the original Lunatic Fringe. Kick to the gut from Lesnar on Angle. The champion is in trouble. Not anymore. Angle rolls over. Victory roll. Lesnar kicks out. There's a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Cover. Not enough because the pinfall wasn't strong enough. Oh, if we had got Lesnar in TNA, fucking hell. That scissor submission, so crafty. Not in years. He hasn't had a great match in years. Look at that waist grip from Lesnar. That is so clever. Two count. Clever pinfall attempt. Lesnar's got full grip of Angle now. Oh yeah, I reckon even 40 minutes. Could you imagine this? Lesnar, Joe, Steiner, Angle in a fatal four-way. Throw in maybe a Tomko or an AJ. Monty Brown. Oh, Abyss. Cook me. Headlock. Angle's getting back to his feet. He's up to one knee. There we go. Elbow. Two. There's a punch. Two. Classic Angle offense. And there's a knee to the ribs. The breadbasket. Lesnar, he's gone for the backbreakers. There's one. This is the real Brock Lesnar. Overrated by who? What are you on about? That match is brilliant. Where are you getting the overrated part from? Nah, I'm not having that. Brock Lesnar versus Hernandez would have been perfect. Matt Morgan as well. Two count. There's a clothesline. Lesnar's rage. Lesnar versus Christopher Daniels in TNA would have been good as well. Sting, Christian Cage, Booker T. Lesnar. Oh wait, Ryback, there's your finisher, mate. Yeah, I don't know where he's getting overrated from. I think that's a ludicrous take. There's another two count. Beautiful match. What a kick to the chin. Shoulder thrusts. Boom, boom. Brock Lesnar had so much offense back then, they completely stole it from him. Back to the action. One little cut on the lip. I'm just not entertaining that. Angle back in the turnbuckle. There's a running shoulder tackle. Back into shoulder thrusts. Boom. Lesnar was just unbelievable. It's a shame that he ran away. There's another one. That's the 8th shoulder thrust of this match. Irish whip. Angle to the other side. I'm not having that. That's bullshit. Nah. 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 That's bullshit. I'm not having that. Shoulder tackle by Kurt Angle. Can't get Lesnar off his feet. There's another one. Off the ropes. Lesnar's still on his feet. Go for the legs. There we go. Drop kick to the left leg. Well, I'm trying to do a match review. You're talking bullshit. There's another punch. Good punches there by Angle. Lesnar. Knee to the thigh. Jumping clothesline. Ducks under. There's a German. Angle finally hits a German suplex. 2. The only good thing about Angle German suplex, eventually he went to 10 in a row. Cue Josh Alexander, who followed suit. There's 3. Cover. Talk about you talking out your arse, mate. If you honestly think Moose versus Bayley is better than Okada versus Bayley, I'm sorry, but I don't know what planet you're on. Mike Bailey has great matches with everybody, but come on, don't lie. That's just your bias kicking in. And then to say Okada phoned it in. It's his best match in his entire AEW run so far. Angle slam countered. Spinebuster. I'm not having that. 2 count. Good kick out there. Not enough from a strength perspective in terms of a pinfall. We're about 15 minutes into this match. Brock going for the F5. Angle counters into a DDT. Cover. Lovely. How can you say... Oh. Yes, straps. How can you say you expected more but say the finish was great? Yeah, he hit 11 on him. Yeah, it was wild. Angle slam. Got him. Yeah. There's a kick out. Aye, he hit 11 on him, and then Angle's like, well, okay, cool. Angle hit 15 on someone once. He hit 15 German suplexes, and someone was like, this is going to be good. And then Josh Alexander done the exact same thing to Steve Macklin. I was like, yeah, we've got generational suplexers. Straps up, straps back down. There's the ankle lock. Michael Cole advocating for a broken ankle. No one even said it was a classic, but now you're going in circles. I don't have time for this. I'm not got time for this. Oh yeah, they were 11 in succession. Yeah, all succession. Proper genius figure four here from Kurt on Lesnar. It's a figure four sleeper hold. And there's the ankle lock. I'm not even going to entertain it now. Yanks him off the ropes. Wait for it. Here comes Vince in the worst shirt you'll ever see. There's the tap. The "you tapped out" chants after this event as well. There's Vince. And he runs out the ring like a cheap little mark. I'm just not. I'm saying nothing. I'm saying nothing. Exactly. Damn you, Vince. I'm saying nothing because I just don't think you're being serious. What an F5. A limping F5. McMahon is Satan incarnate. There we go. Kick out. Honestly, I can't tell what's going to happen. Lesnar does a shit or Vince does a shit. One more. That is what he says. One more. I watched both, but I'm not taking it seriously because you said Okada phoned it in. I'm not taking it seriously because of that. Counter. Drop toe hold. There we go. Got the ropes. Yanks him off. I like this as well. The Vince is running around the whole ring as well. Four corners. Here we go. This is it. This is it. And Vince has just cried. Still WWE champion. Brilliant. Nah, you're being contradictory now. Angle directing the "you suck" chance is perfect wrestling story at its best. Love it. Now beat the shit out of Vince. Go on. Yep, I agree, Maria. Sit down. I know, I thought it was brilliant. Not angle slam on the chair. Cue our sponsor. Someone get some help for Vince McMahon. He might be. Taz, you're such a dick. To think, actually, let me see if I got my memory right. 02, 03, 04. 2001 depends on what you think. Kurt Angle had the best SummerSlam match, what, 3, maybe 4 years in a row? People say Brock Lesnar's Mr. SummerSlam, which I understand, but I think it might be him. Although, to be fair, I'd say Bret Hart was Mr. SummerSlam, but let me just check one thing. Kurt Angle. Did he have one in 04? Yeah, we don't talk about SummerSlam 2005, however. Yeah, we don't talk about that one. How the hell can we have a conversation with you? I can't. I just can't. I'll take you seriously, but you took away serious when you said Okada phoned in. He didn't. I'll agree to any other match where I would say he's phoned in, but he didn't phone in with Speedball. That was just an opportunity for you to go, actually, I think the Moose match was better. See, if you had just said that, I would have been alright with that. I wouldn't have minded that. If you'd said to me, actually, I thought the Moose match with Speedball Mike Bailey was better, I'd be like, you know what, that's okay. But to say he phoned it in is just damn right ludicrous. He didn't phone it in. I'm going to say it's because of the company. Better King of the Ring performance, Bret Hart or Kurt Angle. I still think Bret Hart's run was better, but Kurt Angle's King of the Ring win was still brilliant. I think the run that Bret Hart had to winning it is better. Look at who he had to face. Like, you had Razor Ramon, you had Razor Ramon, Mr. Perfect, and Bam Bam Bigelow, and not once did he use the sharpshooter. I think that's the best pay-per-view performance that, like, from that period. Like, HBK, there's hardly any Kurt Angle match I've not been entertained, whether it's WWE or AEW. Sorry, WWE or TNA. I've always enjoyed watching him every time he's in the ring. I'm the same. I'm the same. The only match that Kurt Angle ever had that I didn't like was the match with Eugene. That was just, oh, nah. And the Rockstar Spud one. Eugene and Rockstar Spud are the only two where I'm like, I can't watch this. I just can't. I feel like I was watching someone try to rip my soul out. It's not assuming. It's proving a point. It is. Oh, so bad. So bad. If you'd said to me Okada phoned it in, say, his match with Mr. Anderson was good. If you said to me Okada phoned it in versus Buddy Matthews, I'd be like, no. If you said Brody King, I would say no. Speedball, no. In between those matches, yes. Those three, no. Not a chance. And newsflash, he's not going to phone it in versus Kenny Omega. Zodiac, you're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. And I'm going to get out here. I am indeed. I'm going to go and relax. How could he have done better, though? Oh, the match was great. No, I'm not even getting into that. I'm not. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure. I will see you tomorrow, where we will review two more shows, another watch, and then Saturday, well, we're previewing Money in the Bank, so we'll probably do a Money in the Bank match rewatch. We'll see. That's fine, but see, next time if you say that, just don't lie about saying he phoned it in. That's all I'm going to ask. Because he didn't. But yeah, guys, see you tomorrow. Brilliant audience as always. I'll see you on the next one. You're fine. But remember, phoning it in, anyone else, fair play. Him, nah. Bye, guys.